jokes aside, these No Kings protests are starting to creep me out a little bit. Hear me out here. It's not because I'm intimidated by these protests. It's not because I believe these protests are effective. They're not effective at all. Nothing was accomplished today, just like nothing was accomplished during the last No Kings protest. But the reason why these protests are starting to creep me out is because of the people who are joining in on these protests. Usually when you see protests or riots, usually the crowds consist of only young people. When we watched the BLM riots and stuff like that, there weren't 80 and 90-year-olds and 70-year-olds out there during those protests. Usually, protesting is something for young people, almost exclusively. You don't find many people out at these protests who are older than like 40 and 50 years old. But at these No Kings protests, the crowds almost are exclusively senior citizens. Now, the big cities are a little different. It's not hard to draw a big crowd in these big cities. Half the people in these crowds don't even know what they're there for. They see people marching through the streets and they join in. So I'm not really talking about necessarily places like New York City and stuff like that. But at the smaller No Kings protest around America, you will quickly notice that they mainly consist of old people. And I'm not talking about people in their 40s and 50s. I'm talking about 60, 70, 80-year-old grandmas. Okay? And this creeps me out for many reasons. Because for one, listen, I was a grandma's boy growing up. My grandma loved the hell out of me, and I loved the hell out of my grandma. I could never imagine wanting to go hang out with my grandma, but she's busy on the streets protesting. So the fact that we have grandmas out here protesting, that should creep you out, because these grandmas should be baking cookies or doing some grandma-like activities. But instead of being a good, wholesome grandma, they're out here on the side of the road spewing a bunch of hatred, and I don't even know if they really understand what's going on or what they're doing. Because I think some of these people out there are like dementia patients. A lot of them are senile. I kid you not, I fully believe, and I've seen evidence of this as well, that they are emptying out the retirement homes, they are emptying out the nursing homes, and they are busing and shipping old people to these protest sites. Because I guess they couldn't find anyone else. I don't know, it's really starting to creep me out, because I feel like we are watching elder abuse on a massive scale, on a broader scale than ever. It's funny because we all called it elder abuse when Joe Biden was president, and they would march him out there to do speeches and stuff that he obviously was not capable of. But now look, in the streets across America, you got random protests popping off, random 80-year-old ladies, right? You got groups of 80-year-old ladies protesting on the side of the road, and it's not natural at all. It's obviously not natural. So my question is, what made them resort to this? Are they paying these people, or are they just say, hey, we'll let you out the nursing home for a couple of hours if you go stand over here in front of, the Western Sizzler, go stand over here with a sign in front of Best Buy and we'll allow you out of your nursing home for an hour or two today. I don't know. It's really starting to, like I said, it's really creeping me out because I'm someone who loves old people, and I hate seeing old people being taken advantage of. And it's clear as day that a lot of old people, hundreds, thousands of old people, are being taken advantage of today. And I really would like to know if they even know what's going on, if they even know where they're at. And I would like to know who came up with this idea to, hey, we're going to empty the nursing homes out onto the streets because we can't find any other protesters. Let's go ahead, before I go any further, I want you guys to see a couple of clips about what I'm talking about. And like I said, the big cities are a little different, but you could look at the smaller protests around America, and it's hard to find any young people in the crowd. They're all exclusively like 60, 70, 80 years old. I'm going to roll a couple of clips for you. Before I do, though, if you're here, if you support the channel, make sure you hit that like button. Make sure you subscribe. Make sure you drop a comment. Also, if you would like to take your support one step further, you could always donate via Cash App or Super Thanks. It's not easy. It's not easy standing up against an army of 80-year-old ladies, okay? But that's what I'm doing right now, so I need your help. But with that being said, let's go ahead and roll these clips, and then I'll be right back with more.
Currently at the No Kings protest here in Carrollton, Texas, and it is almost exclusively all old white people. Kind of interesting demographics.
You should be ashamed.
Why am I ashamed?
You should be ashamed. I mean, where's racism at?
It's okay. Bye-bye. Bye-bye.
Where's racism at?
Do you realize it was your party?
Nice seeing you. Nice seeing you.
Do you realize?
Love America rally.
You're right. Love America. That's right.
Which is
what we do too.
Okay, bye-bye.
Oh, typical white women. There we go. All right. Keep it moving. Puppy friend! Puppy friend!
You're puppy.
Yes. She's at the puppy rally. What'd she say to you?
Huh?
What'd she say to you?
I should be ashamed.
I would just like to publicly thank God. Thank you, God, that you did not give me grandparents this dumb. My grandparents were awesome. My grandparents were based. My grandparents would have made fun of these old people out there. And I just thank God for that, because God could have given me a grandma that instead of, making a nice pot roast dinner on a Sunday, she would be outside on the streets protesting with LGBTQ people in maid outfits. I'm just so happy that I was not raised that way. And look, I don't want to be mean here, because I always say I have such a soft spot in my heart for older people. I don't want to say that all of these older people are idiots. I think a lot of them are being taken advantage of. And as, a lot of people are on the right are making fun of the older people out there protesting. And look, I'm making fun of them too. I'm guilty too. But at the same time, I see certain scenes, certain images that just make me feel terrible. Like there were this old couple carrying around, signs, they're No King signs. And I looked, and you could see that the signs were attached to crutches and canes. Old people are using their crutches, their walkers and canes to hold up anti-Donald Trump signs. It's so sad. A lot of these people are like on their deathbed. And as I said, I really want to know what's going on, because it's obvious that they kind of went in to some nursing homes and like emptied out the nursing homes and busted them to certain areas to protest. And look, if these old people wanted to protest, then okay. But I don't know if all these old people even fully understand what's going on, if they really want to do this. It's so odd seeing people out there who can barely walk with walkers looking like they're about to pass out in the middle of the street. I really want to know who's responsible for dragging some of these people out there, because it's obvious that a lot of these people did not go out there on their own. And that's why I was saying earlier that I was creeped out, because look, we know in the past they used to pay a lot of these protesters money, right? They would pay protesters money to go out here and act the fool. Now that Donald Trump is president and they've looked into U.S. aid and stuff like that, you would think that some of this money has dried up. And I think that's why we're seeing such a drastic difference now in these protests as opposed to the protest in like 2020. In these protests, the crowds look much different and they're much older. And I think that's because they found a new tactic. Hey, we don't have to recruit and pay young people to protest. We can get old people in senior living facilities to do this for free. We'll just make a little activity out of it. Hey everyone, it's art day. We're going to make our little anti-Donald Trump signs. And then next week we'll go on a senior citizen field trip where we're going to take you out into the middle of the streets and make you march a couple of blocks. It's so sad to see. It's so sad to see. But hopefully people do some digging. I'm going to do some digging and let's get to the bottom of what's happening here. Because one thing I know for sure is that it's not natural. You don't naturally have a bunch of 80, 90, 70-year-old women out here in the heat marching around for no reason, okay? So we're going to look into that. For now, though, I want to hear from you guys down in the comments below. While you're down there, hit that thumbs up, hit that subscribe, ring that notification bell, and I'll talk to you all very soon in the next one.